Job Corps is a federal program. It was meant for learning skills or trades.
It was designed to help students get further education in such things as nursing, computer science, the culinary arts, and to give them an opportunity to do better with their lives.
You went and you lived on site, and they would put you in class and help you get a job afterwards. My personal experience was great. I was taking nursing, and I loved it.
I was in the nursing program, too, and I liked my friends that I had made.
Christa arrives at Job Corps with dreams of a brighter future after a rocky start in life.
Christa had been shuttled back and forth in a split marriage between father and mother, West Virginia, North Carolina, West Virginia, North Carolina. Hard life for Christa Pike.
When Christa was 18, she had dropped out of high school, and her mother decided that Job Corps was the place for her.
Despite all of that, a really smart girl. She was smart.
When she said she was taking nursing, I thought that would be a great thing for her because she was very charismatic, but she was also very caring. She would do something to make you laugh or smile.
Christa had a lot of friends. She had Kim and Amy and Colleen and Shadola.
Christa and Colleen actually came in together. They were in the same orientation together. You kind of create a bond with the girls that you come in with. Colleen was studying computers, and she was a good student. Shadola was studying culinary arts. She was a follower. She just wanted to fit in and be friends with whoever was most popular.
Shadola wanted to be part of the crowd. She was a very quiet girl. She was absolutely the opposite of Christa. Christa was one of the few friends that Shadola had, and so she was very loyal to her.
But Christa plays the popularity game to win, which means someone else has to lose.
Christa definitely had a mean girl side to her. She was kind of a time bomb type. Just any little thing could set Christa off.
I never knew what I was getting from her. She ran very much hot and cold.
Queen Christa rules the social circuit at Job Corps. And when she locks eyes with Tadaryl Shipp one day after class, she is certain she's found her king.
Tadaryl was tall. He had a lot of friends. He was always on his way or coming back from somewhere. He was always doing something. He was friendly, liked to joke, just very active.
He was a friend. I mean, he was on my floor. Now, Tadaryl got into fights, but he wasn't like this bad dude. He was a cool guy. People liked him.
He was intense as far as he kind of radiated anger when he was mad. When he was angry, I steered clear. I was like, no, I didn't need that.
Tadaryl claimed to be a Satanist, and he was really open about that. He made sure that he was kind of loud and proud about it, and he made sure that everybody knew it. Knowing Christa before Tadaryl, you wouldn't think she would be the type to be into that, but she kind of changed. She was just really different. She definitely embraced that side of Tadaryl. She just kind of picked it up right along with him, I think. Me and my roommate would call them doom and gloom because they would just be so serious. I think the whole Satanist thing was probably for show. As a whole, Job Corps students, we didn't think much of it.
So a couple of months after Christa and Tadaryl were dating, one day Tadaryl was walking down the hall and Colleen waved at Tadaryl, I guess. Colleen was very quiet but friendly. She was starting to come out of her shell. She kind of blossomed and she waved because it was a friendly face she knew. He waved back, smiled. I thought there's not a big deal in that. Christa's like, Colleen's trying to steal my boyfriend. I said, no, she's not. She's really not.
She did not care about any boys the whole time she was in school.
I know she didn't have any interest in Tadaryl whatsoever.
But Christa has already made up her mind.
Christa went to Colleen and said, why are you trying to steal my boyfriend? Colleen was like, I don't want your boyfriend. You know, they're friends, but, you know, nice guy, but I don't want him. Christa said, yes, you do. I'm gonna need you to stay away from him. Colleen's like, done.
Christa started spreading rumors that Colleen was messing with other guys, that she was easy, that she was trying to get with Tadaryl, trying to steal Tadaryl away, things like that.
She would call her names, just hey bitch or hey ho, or she's like, you ugly bitch. I mean, just all kinds of just things to, I guess, bring her down. I was just like, oh, I was so tired of hearing about it because I'd never seen or heard her act any way inappropriately towards her boyfriend.
After weeks of abuse, Colleen decides to finally stand up to Christa.
Colleen told Christa, she's like, I don't want your boyfriend. He's a nice guy, but she wasn't into guys like Tadaryl. What she meant by guys like Tadaryl, I don't know. But Christa just automatically assumed it was because he was black.
I don't think Colleen was a racist at all. And I just remember how intense it was. And I remember Shadala being there too. And Christa definitely got Shadala on board with her on this campaign against Colleen. She just really made it her mission to just really trash Colleen's name. And a lot of people ran with it. A lot of people, you know, thought Colleen was racist, that she hated black guys and she hated all black people now. There wasn't really any truth at all to any of it.
And Christa is just getting started.
We would leave the dorms during the day and go to school. And I remember at the end of the day, Colleen went to her room and it had been just completely trashed. And she had had some things stolen, some jewelry, some money stolen, and all of her belongings were just like dumped in the center of the room.
I looked at Christa, I immediately looked at Christa, and she kind of smirked and said, what? I said, did you do that to her stuff? Christa said, no. But I know who did. I said, who did it? Christa's like, I'm not gonna tell you. And then walked away. She would always change the subject. If I kept, who did it? I wanna know. I'm not telling you. I don't know who she talked into doing it, or what she offered them, or what stake they had in it, but she was behind it.
But Christa doesn't realize she's finally pushed Colleen too far.
Colleen knew that Christa had been in trouble a lot. She knew that if she got in trouble anymore, that she would be banned from the program.
She had been reprimanded for various things and for being in Tadaryl's room after hours, for fighting, and skipping school.
Colleen did finally go to somebody about Christa and all the bullying she had been dealing with Christa.
The disciplinary board convenes and will render a decision about Christa's fate at Job Corps after they conduct an investigation.
Christa was really upset that Colleen had went to the powers that be about her.
Finally, the school disciplinary board issues a ruling on Colleen's complaint about Christa.
And they told Christa she was on her last strike.
She should have been sent home, but they let her stay. I remember everybody coming back after Christmas and being happy and being in a brighter place. It seemed like it was probably going to be better. It definitely felt lighter.
Christa comes back to campus a changed and nicer person.
Christa, she would walk by Colleen and wave at her. She seemed like she wanted to be friends.
Christa was going to make friends with Colleen, and I remember thinking, that's good, that's nice to hear.
Colleen thought, you know what? This can end now. We don't have to be best friends, but we'll be okay.
Christa went looking for Colleen, and when she found her on campus, she asked her if she would like to go to the video store with her and help to pick out a movie. And Colleen was excited about that.
You had to sign out and sign back in at the guard shack to leave or come onto the properties.
On their way out, Tadaryl and Shadola ask if they can come too.
And I seen Colleen, Christa, Tadaryl, and Shadola sign out.
4 people signed out that night. 3 came back.
There was a couple walking in Tyson Park. They came across what they found to be a spot of blood, or they believed to be a spot of blood along the pathway. As he walked down the path, he saw what he believed to be an animal, perhaps a dog.
And then he looked a little bit closer and he realized it wasn't an animal, it was a human being. So you can imagine his horror. He calls the cops get there and they're like, holy, you know what?
I think the crime scene itself took up about 250 feet in a circle. I found a piece of pavement there that was bloody. You could see the imprints of hands in the mud. And the body was laying at the base of this pile of dirt. It was pretty bloody. And she was nude from waist up.
A closer look at the body reveals more about the horrors of the night before.
There was multiple slashes across her forehead and across her, of course, the body. Her throat was cut 7 times. But what actually caused the death was the piece of pavement.
The chunk of asphalt that was beside the body, that was the murder weapon.
And there was a piece of the skull missing. It was obvious there was a piece missing there.
Little is known about the body in the woods, including her identity, but the investigation is just getting started.
They showed me the body once it'd been cleaned. And then there it was. It was a big pentagram that covered her whole chest. So I took that information, I alerted everyone at the station, don't talk about it, don't say nothing. That's gonna be important. But if anything comes into Satanism, I wanna know no matter what time or day. And about 3:30, I got a phone call from, he said, Randy, we just got a call from a lady out of Jackson, Tennessee, and she's real worried about her daughter. I said, well, okay. He said, well, she mentioned Satanism. I said, what did she say? She said that her daughter is in Job Corps and that she knows a bunch of kids involved in Satanism and she's really scared.
The woman's daughter is safe and sound in the Job Corps dorm. She is not tied to the murder in any way. But the information she provides gives detectives an idea.
So I went to the Job Corps Center and I asked the security guard there, I said, do you have a sign in and out sheet for students? He said, yes, we do. I said, will you check yesterday about such a time and see who signed out and see if any didn't sign in? So he checked, and the logbook indicated that 4 people had signed out. It was Christa Pike, Tadaryl Shipp, and Shadola Peterson, and Colleen Slemmer. My victim was, of course, the one that didn't sign back in. That was Colleen Slemmer. When I started out the interview with Christa, she was happy and giddy. I've never seen anybody like this. I asked her, I said, I'm here to talk to you about a body that was found, and then she interceded and said, you mean Colleen? I just let her talk. I just let her go. She said her intention was not to kill her, but once it got started, she knew that she had to. She hit her, knocked her down, and it was just a melee after that. And then the other 2 jumped in and helped do the cutting and slicing and stuff on the victim. There was a point where they ordered her to take off her top part of the clothes to keep her from running off. And the more she talked about it, the more excited she got, and she was reliving what took place.
Christa admits that she cut Colleen's throat and smashed her head with the asphalt.
And then took the box cutter and cut out a piece of the skull and wrapped it up. She felt like Colleen was trying to take her boyfriend away from her. And I found nothing from anybody to indicate that, but that was the story she told. I wasn't sure I believed in demon-possessed till I met her, and I strictly believe that girl's got some kind of demon in her. Tadaryl, when he talked about it, he seemed to be honest and with me. He didn't seem excited or anything about it. He indicated that all that was an afterthought, that wasn't planned.
I thought they just were scared at first from the jump. That's what I thought. But we got into everything changed.
He thought that there was just going to be a fight between the girls, that they thought they was going out there and beat her up. But when it all just transpired, you either get involved or you get out. Tadaryl, she tried to play everything off as like she was just there, that she didn't do anything.
Tadaryl was afraid of Christa. Everyone was afraid of Christa. And she just wasn't going to see that rage and that anger turned on her.
Christa, Tadaryl, and Tadaryl are all charged with murder.
Christa was tried 14 months after Colleen was killed. I think the trial went about 2 weeks.
Christa is found guilty, and sentencing takes place shortly after.
The judge asked her to stand up to give her the sentence. Jury's been excused.
It is therefore ordered that you shall be put to death by electrocution. Your body shall be subjected to shock by a sufficient current of electricity. May God have mercy upon you.
At his trial, Tadaryl Shipp is also found guilty of first-degree murder.
Tadaryl was given a life sentence with the possibility of parole. He would have to serve at least 25 years in order to be eligible for parole.
Tadaryl makes a deal in exchange for testifying at Christa and Tadaryl's trials. She doesn't serve any prison time. Christa Pike awaits execution as the only woman on death row in the state of Tennessee. She has been in solitary confinement for over 20 years.